What are you filling the room with? Not what are you producing, not what are you releasing, but what is actually in the room because you walked into it. There's a word in Genesis 1:28 that most people never get to, not because it's hidden, not because it is complicated, but because by the time most of us hear the first two commandments, we assume we understand the assignment. We do not. Here is the tension I want to put in front of you right away. You can produce something real, release it faithfully, and still never actually feel anything. That is what this is about. So here are the first two commands in plain English. Let me build this from the ground up. I am going to use an apple as a live example so you can see what this actually looks like. The first command is be fruitful, pārāh. That is where what you carry becomes real. The idea became a thing. The thing nourished someone. That is the apple. The apple is the thing you produce, the work, the conversation, the business, the resource, the relationship, the thing that came out of what you carry. If you want to go deeper on pārāh, I will link that video above. The second command, multiply, rābāh. That is where the seed inside the apple gets released. The seed is what allows what you produce to move beyond the first person it nourished, not managing the outcome, not feeding the one forever, releasing. And if you want to go deeper on rābāh, I will link that video above as well. You do not need either of those videos to follow this one. All you need is this. Pārāh is the apple, rābāh is the seed, and mālāʻ asks what space that fruit and seed were meant to fill. But here is what I want you to see. Pārāh without rābāh is production without legacy. Rābāh without mālāʻ is release without presence. And that is the part nobody talks about. Now, somebody might say, I have been fruitful, but that was not the problem. I want to be honest with you here because this one is personal. I have been disciplined. I have done the work in music, in my health, in biblical studies. I have put in the hours that most people only talk about. I have produced things that were real, things that nourished people, things I am not ashamed of. I poured into others. I have helped build. I have helped shape. I have sat with people in the middle of their progress and given everything I had to help them get to the other side. But here is what I had to finally say out loud. I have been a tailor. I have never been a manufacturer. Every garment I made was for someone else's store. Every seed I released went into someone else's ground. Much of what I helped build was ultimately housed under someone else's name. And I am not bitter about that at all. Those things mattered. Those people mattered. The work was real, but I have not yet built something that will outlive me. And when I sat with that, really sat with it, I realized the question was never whether I was being fruitful. I was. The question was, what space was I supposed to be filling? For me, filling stopped being about how much I produced. It became about this. Did I fill the space my obedience created? So let's talk about filling the space your obedience created. Mālāʻ, to fill, to be full, to fill up a space. In Genesis 1:28, it comes as a command, fill the earth. The text says, fill the earth. And that command forces a smaller question in every space we inhabit. What are we filling it with? For this conversation, I want to think about mālāʻ as intentional occupation, not just being in a room, filling it. Not just being present, being fully there. Not just taking up space, inhabiting it. And this is where this word starts getting uncomfortable because it forces a question most of us never stop to ask. What are you filling the room with? Not what are you producing, not what are you releasing, but what is actually in the room because you walked into it. What do your children feel when you walk through the door? What does your team carry after you leave the meeting? What does your partner absorb after years of being close to you? What do you leave behind in a conversation? Not the words, but the weight of what you brought into it. Here is what you need to understand about this word. Mālāঃ is a command, and commands in scripture are not suggestions that activate when you feel ready. But here is the part that should sober us. Even when you are not intentional, your presence still fills spaces with something. The room does not stay untouched while you figure out what you want to bring into it. It always feels. The question is whether you are paying attention to what is going on. Because if you do not feel the room intentionally, you will fill it with unintentional things. Understand this. Expanding is not the same as filling. This is the tension I want you to hold. Expanding asks, how much more space can I occupy? Filling asks, am I fully in the space I already have? Expanding chases width. Filling requires depth. You can be in 5 rooms and fill none of them. You can be in one room and fill it so completely that it changes everyone who walks into it after you leave. Think about the entrepreneur who builds a business that works, releases a team that runs it, and then is never actually present in the culture. The values are on the wall. The mission statement is in the handbook, but the room that leadership was supposed to fill is empty, and everyone inside it knows it. Think about the parent who provides everything, the house, the school, the opportunity, and still leaves their children in a space that was never filled with them. Not their provision, not their performance, them. Think about the teacher whose student can recall the content years later, but cannot remember feeling like anyone in that room believed in them. Producing happened, releasing happened, but filling never did. And the people in those spaces felt the difference, even when they could not name it. Understand this, you cannot send a representative. This is the part that makes mālāঃ uncomfortable. Production can be delegated. Systems can be built to keep producing without you. Multiplication can be structured. You can train people to release what you released, but filling cannot be outsourced. It cannot be automated. It cannot be performed from a distance. You cannot send a representative to fill your space. The room needs you, your voice, your attention, your full weight, the version of you that is not managing an outcome or performing for an audience, but actually fully present. And that is exactly why most people never feel anything. Because filling is slow. It does not have a metrics. It does not have a finish line. It does not show up in analytics or milestone posts. Filling is what happens over time when you keep showing up to the same space with your whole self. It is easier to start a new thing than fill the thing you already started. To release a seed than tend to the ground where it landed. It is easier to be everywhere than to be fully somewhere. The logic of filling is not everywhere. It is somewhere. Now, what does filling actually look like? Let me make this real. The entrepreneur who is faithful produces a business that works. The entrepreneur who multiplies builds a team that can run it without them. The entrepreneur who feels inhabits the culture, the values, the vision, the way people are treated so completely that even when they are not in the room still carries them. The parent who is fruitful helps provide what a child needs to grow. The parent who multiplies pours something into that child that the child will one day pour into someone else. The parent who feels keeps showing up in the emotional and spiritual space of that child's formation. So the child is given every reason to know they were seen, known, and held. The mentor who is fruitful gives knowledge that can be used. The mentor who multiplies produces people who go on to pour into others. The mentor who feels makes the person feel years later in a completely different room that someone once believed in them so completely that the belief never left. Feeling is not loud. It is not always visible, but it is the thing people remember. It is the thing that stays. Now I want you to hear this. This is about the fruit you did not mean to produce. I want to end here because this is the part that requires the most honesty. This section needs mercy. Some rooms were unhealthy before you entered them. Some people made choices you could not control. Clinical conditions, trauma, and grief deserve real care. I am talking about the patterns we refuse to examine but still allow to shape the room we enter. Because the room feels either way. If you have been fruitful, and you have, then you have been producing something. The question is what? Because not all fruit is the fruit you intended to grow. If unexamined fear, anxiety, control, or pressure keep spilling out of you, then that can become part of what you offer the people around you. And you may not have called it that. You may have called it high standards, or drive, or discernment, or just the way you are. But the people closest to you felt the fruit. Your children felt it. Your partner felt it. The people you poured into felt it. And here's the part that is hard to hear. Those patterns can become part of what gets planted in the people around you. That is how patterns work. They do not wait for your permission before they start reproducing. Some of those seeds may already be in the ground. Some may already be growing. That truth is not condemnation. It is where stewardship can begin again. You may not have looked around at your relationships, your marriage, your children, your community, and seen the tension, the distance, the dysfunction, and spent years trying to figure out who the problem was. But mālāঃ asks a different question. What have you been filling the room with? You are not the only factor in every room, but you are the one part of the room you are responsible to examine. That is not an accusation. That is an invitation. An invitation to stop producing unintentionally, to stop releasing seeds you never meant to plant, to stop filling spaces with the overflow of what you never dealt with, and to start asking with real honesty, what do I actually want to fill this room with? Because the command is still standing. Fill, not with what spills out of you by default, with what you were actually designed to carry. Be fruitful, multiply, and fill. Pārāh says, stop waiting, make it real, let it nourish someone. Rābāh says, stop hoarding, release the seed, trust what it becomes. Mālāঃ says, stop skimming, occupy the space your obedience created, fully, intentionally, and with everything you are. You were never just supposed to produce. You were never just supposed to release. You were supposed to feel. And there are still spaces waiting to be filled with what you were designed to carry. Now, if this gave you language, comment one word, feel. You do not have to explain it publicly, just mark the moment. And before you move on, ask yourself one honest question. What space have I been present in but not actually filling? And if you want the whole Genesis 1:28 series in one place, I'll link that playlist above.